What's up, Mob Crew? I'm Chris, and also today's missing person case is Thailand Pernia. Also, today's missing person case is Destiny. Today's missing person case is Haley Bible. Also, today's missing person case is Isabel Grace. Also, today's missing person case is Alexa Ware. So today's missing person case is Also, today's missing person case is Aaron Teresa Lawrence. Today's missing person case is Jessica Marshik from What's up, Mob Crew? I'm Chris, and today's video There we go. What's up, everybody? I couldn't find the right button. Welcome to the channel. If you can hear me, please put one in the chat if you could, please. Turn my headset down just a little. There we go. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and taking time out of your day to watch my show. Today we're going to do part 2 to this picture and kind of debunking a few things, and also we'll be going over a couple other things, so it's not just a debunk video. But thank you guys so much, and I wish I could shout everybody out. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate all the support. You guys are amazing. So apparently after I did my video yesterday, there was another content creator who put out a video a couple hours after mine and said that what I put out was wrong, and I won't go into too much details because it's not, to me, it's not really a big deal. You know, it's their choice. If they don't want to do the research, you know, it's on them. But I would just, my advice for up and coming YouTubers is to, you know, do your research, because, you know, people are going to call you on it big time. And so today, for those that caught my show yesterday, we're going to kind of go over this picture, and I found the source because I knew where the source was from. I just couldn't remember the website itself, and so I'm going to show you the actual source, and then we'll talk about it, and how, I wouldn't say it's absurd because it makes sense, like, you know, for people that are kind of newer to the case. But then, you know, when you actually get the full context of it, then, and plus, yesterday I didn't actually get to show exactly what we're looking at, and I did figure out what we are looking at, and so we'll basically put this, this one to bed. So, hope you guys are excited. And, quickly, you know what, shame on me, forgot to grab the missing today. So let me pull up real quick Twitter and just see. I knew I forgot something. I know somebody sent me a couple of requests for missing persons, and I got sidetracked, and so I apologize. I will feature, if you send me an email, because I don't want to pull up my email while I got it up on my screen, because I don't want to show anybody's full names. So let's take a look at here. Let's show him again because I know his family members have been really pushing this. So this is Brian Hazel. So apparently he was last seen on November 15th at the end of last year near some apartments. And so this is in Orlando, Florida. He's just 23 years old. Anybody in that area, just keep a lookout for Brian Hazel, because I know his family's been really pushing his posters and stuff. And if any of you have any friends or family members that have somebody that's missing and they need some help with exposure, you can email me. Just send me the details and a picture so I can get the right details out and everything. Let's do one more real quick. And then, like I said, I apologize. I had some that were sent to me today, and I completely forgot to put them into today's show. So I will show them tomorrow, I promise. So this is Emily Rogers from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. She is 23. She just barely went missing on the 26th of April. Let's see. The circumstances of her disappearance are concerning. Emily was reported missing along with her young child, who has since been located safely, followed by the child's father's arrest. Ooh, that doesn't sound good. I wonder. Ooh, that's, I'll have to look more into that one. That might be a murder. I mean, hopefully not, but at least the child has been recovered. But so there's Emily Rogers, just 23 years old. Went missing on the 26th. I'll have to look more into that one. So, Don Streeter, thank you so much for the $1.99. Thank you so much. So, all right. So there's the missing. Like I said, if you email me, I apologize. Usually I'm on it, but today I kind of got sidetracked with some things. So we will get back to that. So, all right. So today is part 2 of kind of debunking some things. And like I said, I told you guys that there was this supposed crime scene photo of what they said was Abby. But I always kind of thought it looked odd. But this had been out there. So this is the original post that I'm showing you guys right now. So this was posted on December, it says 16th, but it says posted on the 17th. So, by Calvin the dog. Now, Calvin the dog apparently works with, this is Robert Lindsay's group. He has like his own little blog, and like he has like supposedly 200 plus web sleuths that like work for him. Thank you, SD, for the $4.99. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All donations will go, 35% of donations will go to the Humane Society, which we'll be doing another donation real soon. So like I said, this is the original post. This was from 2017 at the end of the year. So I'm not going to read all of this because there's a lot there, but we're going to get into the context of stuff. So basically what it's saying here is that, hey, we're a group of sleuths working together, and we're digging into all this information into this new crime, because at the time it was December of that year, so it was still kind of new with Delphi. And so all these new rumors were coming out. And then, of course, Gray Hughes was debunking some things. And then they talk about, oh, well, Gray Hughes is wrong. And see right here it says, but now we know that Gray Hughes was wrong once again. Anyway, all right, so we're going to start it here because this is where the original, now like I said, this is not a photo. Really, this is just screenshots. So you can't say this is a photo. It's a screenshot. So we'll get the context of the origin. So, all right, we'll start up here. So, the reason we know he is wrong is because we can see actual flashes right around the area of the pink blotch. Those flashes can only be crime scene investigators photographing the crime scene. All the flashes are in the same place, and they are all right next to a pink blotch, which kind of actually more is red, but we'll explore that later. In fact, we have one photo, which it's, like I said, it's not a photo. It's really just a screenshot of a video. But If anything, we can prove that the pink blotch is exactly in the vicinity of the actual crime scene. And this is wrong. This leads us to believe that this is an actual photo of one of the victims. We believe that the photos below are actual crime scene photographs. If you find them graphic, please do not view them. Now, obviously, I would not show bodies of Abby and Libby. Alright, so this is not what you guys think or what they're saying, but if you caught my show before, then you kind of already know some of the context. And then just quickly, I'm sorry to sidetrack real quick. I meant to discuss something. Just for my moderators, if we can, I would say I would allow if somebody says like Gray Hughes is a doo-doo head, that's fine. As long as it's not like repetitive or cuss words, I'm okay with that. If it's a one-time thing, like I don't care for Gray Hughes. I don't mind if they say that. But if they say Gray Hughes is an a-hole, using the whole word, then yeah, it'll get flagged. So if you guys would just allow them to express, if it's just a one-time thing. And then as far as mentioning other content creators, I don't mind if you guys say, oh, hey, I checked out this guy's video, it was cool, and leave it at that. But if it's like becomes like a conversation where I don't know this YouTuber that, gets mentioned, then yeah, I would have a problem with that. So if I appreciate, like I said, these mods, they don't get paid. I am going to be doing something for the mods to kind of get back. We'll be doing that sometime this month, and also for the viewers. We're going to be doing a giveaway for the mods, and then we'll be doing a giveaway for the viewers, and that means everybody. We're going to include everybody, not just the people who donate. So just to kind of get back, because I try to give back as much as I can on this channel, because I am just so grateful and humbled to be in the position I am, and I can't do it without people like you guys watching me and taking your time to support me. So, all right, I apologize for sidetracking. Okay, so here they show this little clip here. This what they call a photo, but it's really a screenshot. So it says, same photo with warmer filter. Notice the red object in the flash in the crime scene. Investigator's camera to the lower right of it. So they're mentioning this little thing here, and they're saying that this is a flash. Then it says, our graphics editor finger pointed out the flash of the detective's camera in the lower right of the pink object. So they're pointing out the white thing here with it's kind of zoomed in a little bit more, and it's with a different filter. And then they point out the red blotch here. And then they say, our graphics worker finger pointed out the circled object on the left, and they say it's Abby Williams' body. The circle object to the right is the flash of the detective's camera. So they're saying that this is, they say this is her sweatshirt, but that's her t-shirt, or that could be her t-shirt, because she was wearing a red t-shirt and a gray sweatshirt. And they're saying this is the flash. And apparently this guy, yesterday, after I did my video, said that not only is like Abby in here, that apparently Libby's in here, and you can see hair and stuff, and yeah. And then extreme close-up of what appears to be Abby's body from the crime scene. The red object is her sweatshirt pulled over her head. But we know she was wearing a gray sweatshirt. She was actually, if she had anything pulled over her head, it would have been her red t-shirt. You can see what appear to be two arms extending from the upper body. You can also see what looks like two legs in the lower body. Left leg is bent at the knee. The unfortunate devil horns effect produced on Abby's head is caused by the flash of the camera reflecting off a nearby tree projected onto her covered head. Now, what's interesting is it does. This is a case of pareidolia, but it does. It looks like an arm. It looks like an arm here. It looks like a leg. It looks like another leg with a bent knee. Here you got the knee, and then the leg's kind of going back. And you can even make out a foot. It looks, like I said, it looks like a body. It really does. Crime scene photo with filters added. Some things are harder to see, but the legs even show up. Even the feet show up very well in this image. So they run some different filters. They kind of point out, hey, you can see the feet right here. Like I said, I would not be showing their bodies if I didn't know any better. So this is, like I said, this is not what you guys think it is. Probably the best crime scene photo of all with added filters. You can see the detective photographing the body is right of Abby's waist in our point of view. The legs, arms, sweatshirt, camera flash all show up very well in the photo. So anyway, then they talk about this suspicious guy here, which this has been debunked. There's more. Most of it's nonsense. There's a few facts, but mixed with a lot of rumors that are really. Some of them are actually disgusting because it's coming from Robert Lindsay. For those that don't know, he's the one that came up with the whole. One of them was pregnant, which is really, So trigger warning. We're going to be talking about some. Well, I wouldn't say graphic stuff, but some disgusting rumors. But they are just that, rumors. One of the other things that they doubled down on, which is, I got to show you guys this, and then we'll start debunking this. And like I said, I can explain everything far more today than I could yesterday. But this is one of the things that they supposedly they zoomed up on his face. And actually, Gray Hughes debunked this. But they zoomed up on his face and said that there's a cigarette in his mouth. But Gray Hughes actually debunked this. And this is not... If you zoom in on the photo, it does not look like anything like this. There is no cigarette. They added this little smoke effect here. This was all photoshopped in. This is not... So it just kind of shows you... kind of the level of the stuff that they do to try to, make up stuff. But yeah, this is fake. So, just to show you the context of where this come from, because I knew where it came from, as this other content creator had mentioned that I didn't know where this came from, but I did say I knew it was from Robert Lindsay. I just couldn't remember the website at the time, but I found it. So now you got the context of the original. I remember this, when it came out that year. And at the time, I believed it. I thought, wow, this is kind of interesting. Because it does look like a body. So, now, we get into, let's see, where do we start at? Right here. Okay. So, just to talk about what I was doing Saturday, literally 3/4 of my day on Saturday, is I was watching the footage, and here I'll kind of play it. Let me see if I can play it without causing too much problems here. And then I'll go everything, and then I'll answer some questions at the end, because I noticed some people have been kind of giving me a little bit of crap for kind of stopping the show and answering questions, but I will if you kind of want to save some of your questions, and we'll see how much time we have. Maybe we could do some call-ins. So I was watching this. So this is the helicopter when they were doing the search party. So I'm not sure what time exactly. I would say somewhere between 10 a.m. to noon, somewhere in there, is when they're doing this. I would say kind of more around 11. But this is 35 minutes. And so the helicopter just kind of flies around. There's two of them. And so at the time, they technically... I think actually when they're starting to fly, they don't know this yet, the cameramen. But they actually are beginning to discover the bodies sometime while this helicopter's in the sky. And I'll go more into that in a minute. But one of the reasons why I wanted to watch this is because this is literally less than 24 hours of when the girls were murdered. And I was thinking, so I was watching this at quarter speed. The entire thing at quarter speed. And I did that twice. The first time I watched the entire thing at quarter speed. One of the reasons I did that, well, there's multiple reasons, but I was doing that because I was thinking, could the killer, if he wasn't in the volunteer, could he still been in the area? Because the helicopter kind of flies around the entire area and the vicinity around it. So I thought, I'm going to play it at quarter speed and see if I can notice anything. Maybe there's a vehicle that's parked off, way out here somewhere that's just kind of chilling. Maybe, it could be the perpetrator's car that, he's kind of hanging back, seeing what's going on. Or maybe there's some dude walking by this barn or, kind of keeping an eye on things. Like I said, unless he's actually in the volunteers. And that's another reason why I was looking at this. Just kind of see if I could see the volunteers and just see what vehicles I could see. And just trying to take a different approach, to help, anything I can in this case. To notice anything that's out of the ordinary. So that was what I was doing for most of my Saturday. So anyway, and I think I left a link for this video in my first video. If I didn't, I will make sure I do for both videos, because it is interesting for those that really follow the case and want to learn more about the area and stuff, because they fly around the entire area and show some interesting things. Now notice what this does right here. I'm going to start getting into the context of the screenshot. Now this cameraman or this helicopter, when they're filming, for some reason, and it happens often, is it cuts out. And it could be random. It could be like for a couple seconds. I noticed at the end it cuts out for like almost 2 minutes. So somehow they're like losing a signal. And so yeah. So like I said, I watched this entire thing at quarter speed, just kind of seeing if I could notice anything out of the ordinary. So then I started coming across something that looked familiar. And I'm going to get to it here in just a minute. Let me start slowing the speed just a minute here. Okay, so we're going to slow this down here because it's coming up. Now notice, it's going to do this again. Now if you look in the comments of this video, they'll say that the reason why this stopped for a minute is because they were looking at the crime scene. But I'm going to tell you that's not the truth, because where they're at is not where the crime scene was at. This is the cemetery right here. Crime scene was more over here. But I'll show you more stuff here in just a minute. Now watch, it's gonna all of a sudden it's gonna cut out here in just a minute. Notice these flashes over here. Where is it? And we'll go. That'll be my last part. Okay, watch. It's gonna stop. Okay, see it stopped. That's not me. And all of a sudden it zoomed in. Boom. Okay, so I've just paused it at 8:13, 18:13. You're gonna notice something familiar. You see the little red blotch, and you see what's supposed to be the photography. So here's the screenshot from what they used on the website, just so you guys can see. Go back down. So as you can see, this is the screenshot. Then they kind of ran it through some filters, and they got this out of it. So here's the screenshot. And then here's me showing you what they used in the screenshot. They used this right here. You can actually see, you can make out, without any filters, you can make out the arms and the legs, supposedly, and the supposed detective flash. And then they ran it through some filters. And so I just kind of showed that, the red matching with the red. And as you can see, this is the same thing. They just zoomed in right here. So if I were to take a screenshot, I'm going to show you exactly what they did. Apologies. I want to put this to bed for good, and I'll explain I can tell you exactly what this is. I mean, exactly what this is, which I wasn't able to do yesterday. So, now we've got our little screenshot. Close that real quick. Close that. Okay, so we have our screenshot. Now, what they did is they did this. They did something like this. Boop. And so this is what they did here. I want to save this real quick. We'll close that, and we'll close that, and we will close that. Okay, so we're gonna open this up. So you guys saw what I did here, and we're going to now. Obviously, they've ran this through a different filter. So here's the original. And I'll blow it up for you guys too, because I know it's kind of hard. Can't really see anything at the moment. So, oops, scoot that over, make sure I'm not blocking. So as you can see, I've got the same exact photo. You can see the helicopter tail just sticking out. Helicopter tail just sticking out. Like I said, they've already ran this through a different filter, kind of darkened it. And so you can see the little red blotch. You can see the little flash. So everybody sees where we're all at. So now you got the context of what this was taken from. So I'm going to close all that out. And let's do... So like I said, they just paused it right here and said, oh, this is the crime scene. And we caught it. And there's Abby's body. And apparently, from what this other YouTuber was saying, that there's another body. There's both bodies are there. But there's a problem. They're not bodies. For one, and I'll just quickly go over this because I don't want to repeat myself from last video. But just to kind of go over the angle and stuff is, so here is, I placed their screenshot exactly. I was slightly off, like a couple of, just a hair there. But I just placed their thing right back into the video. Now we understand that this is, we got the whole context of what this is taken from. Then I did some research on how tall these tails are, and they're approximately 6 feet. All right. Now, as you can see, what I did here is I took this little filtered image and I matched it up perfectly. So it's the same size. You can see it, you know, it might be hard for some people, but I matched it up to the same size as this. So this is the same size. Now, so let me back this up. So, assuming if this was Abby and this was her body, and this is 6 feet, and we know the helicopter is closer than it is to the ground. So, technically, the ground is even further away, which means things are supposed to get smaller, not bigger. This would already say that she's over 6 feet sitting down, which is not possible. Because this is 100 to 200 feet off the ground. This helicopter that we're viewing from is probably about 400 to 500 feet away from this helicopter, and probably about 600 feet from the ground. I don't know, maybe 400 to 600. I don't know. So what I did is I took a helicopter, not the exact one, but the same kind. It just had a different color. And I showed what it looked like for a dude sitting. So here is a dude, a cameraman, sitting in his seat here. And then what I did is I matched up the tails so they're exactly the same. And then you can see him sitting here. So this, from that distance, this is what a person, an adult, would look like sitting down. This is the length. And already you can see, and then I copied this one and placed it here. So this is what it would look like if a guy was sitting down just from this distance. Obviously, if it was at the ground, it would be like 10 times smaller. So as you can see, there's no way that this could be a body, because this person sitting down would be like 30 feet tall. Yeah, 15-foot Abby, probably 30-foot Abby. Okay, but like I said, there's much more. I'm going to really break this down and show you what this really is. And then I showed, this is just an example, but for a like a 6-foot tall person, this is kind of like what they would look like standing up. It would probably be about from here to here, you know, if they were like actually in this. But I don't think you could actually catch a person, especially sitting down from that far away. So this case is it's basically just a simple case of pareidolia. Just like the face on the moon. And it is crazy because you see all these different, you know, limbs and stuff. I totally get people making this out to be a body, because you've got all these little limbs and stuff, and it looks like a foot, so it does make sense. But the problem is this was nowhere near the crime scene. And I will get into that, which I didn't get into the last video. Let me take a sip of my coffee. Okay, so let me explain what we are really looking at. Let me skip past this and we'll go back to that. So this is the actual crime scene. We'll go back into that. Okay, so this is what I got today. All right. So notice this is at 1810. This right here is the cemetery, where a bunch of cars are parked. This helicopter, remember at 1813 is when we get that shot. Thank you so much, Frank Meister. I appreciate it. Thanks, buddy. Frank Meister, we've been working together. I think he's got a channel. He's working with Marv and Frank, I think it's called. I've been on their channel. They do great work. That's a channel that I respect and happily would shout out anytime. So what we're looking at, so for the white thing, is it's actually a car. So, and I'll show you guys the full context of everything. So it's not a flash from a camera. This is actually a vehicle. So, as you can see, here's the vehicle here. This is the cemetery parking. So we're at 1820. And I'll play the footage because then you'll see it better. What we're really looking at is there's a red truck and a white, possibly a white truck or a van, and a couple more trucks and vans. But this one in particular, that's where I circled red. This is the red truck. This is a white truck. We'll just say two trucks, white and red. What we're really looking at. Okay, so I backed it up a little bit before we get into. So this is just before it kind of cuts out for a few seconds. So here's the cemetery right now. Now this is the angle this helicopter is going to be going. It's going to start heading kind of more towards the cemetery. The helicopter we're in that we're viewing. Oh, shoot. I just realized you guys probably kind of blocking that. Sorry. Let me scoot that over just like that. Okay. Back that out. So this helicopter is going to be going this way. Here's the cemetery with all those cars that are parked. Now, the helicopter we're in is going to be swinging over
this way over the creek and going to be viewing from this way. So here we are. We're starting to shift. And this helicopter is going to start to kind of go closer to the cemetery. And here we are. We're at 1808. And we're still shifting. And here's the cemetery. And the parking is kind of right here. And here is where it skips to 1813. So here's this red blotch. And here's the white speck. And I am now going to play. Alright, so I'm just going to back it up just a little bit. And you're actually going to be able to see cars. So, here it is. Here's our little red blotch. And here's our little supposed camera flash. But now, what we're learning is this is a red truck. And this is a white car. And you'll see it. You can actually start to kind of make out the truck here. You can really start to make out the white truck over here. Let me slow down the speed for you guys. And as you can see, definitely the white truck really starts to come through. The red truck kind of stays hidden, but you can still make it out if you really kind of zoom in. But see, you can see it, and then you can actually start to make out the second vehicle. Because remember, they're kind of lined up in a line. As a matter of fact, let me... So this is what we're looking at. We're just looking at cars lined up right there. Scoot this over just a little. Let me bring this up top so I'm not blocking it. Okay. Oops. Let me scoot that over just a little. Alright, here we go. And as we just kind of scroll through, you can see the red a little bit. You can see the white vehicle. And what we're seeing is we're seeing this vehicle here. Red truck, white truck. And you're just going to see them just, as you can see, they're just perfectly lined up. You can kind of see the truck. The red truck really kind of stays hidden for the most part. Zooms in. You can actually see the hood right here. The windshield, I mean. Windshield, white truck. Clearly this is not a flash from a camera. I would say that's the best view for that truck in particular. And as you can see, there's the cemetery. And what it does is it fools you because these trees are just so tall that it makes it look like all this is all wooded area. And like, why would there be cars in the middle of the woods? But it's just from the view itself and from how tall these trees are. And how close they park to the trees, obviously, too. As you can see, I mean, they're lined up right up against the trees here. But really all you're seeing is this red truck and this here. So, but yeah, so anyway, that is not the crime scene because the crime scene was not at the cemetery. So, but I've got more. So, like I said, we put that to rest. Is everybody clear on those are vehicles? Do I need to... Anybody questions on that? And now, what is crazy is, like I said, I watched this 35-minute video at quarter speed 2 times. I spent 3/4 of a Saturday watching this footage because I was just trying to see if I could find anything suspicious. We got a bot in here. Anyway, but what's crazy is when I was watching this, I actually came across them taking flashes, which was like bizarre. And from looking at the comments, I don't think anybody, I'm not saying I'm the only one that caught this. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody else caught this. But what's just crazy is I actually did catch flashes. And it just so happens to be where the crime scene was. So I'm going to, this is just before it. Oh, thank you so much, Michelle. You are doing an amazing job, Chris. Thank you. Thank you so much, Michelle. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. All right, so let's see. Okay, it's at 17:35, so it's coming up. So it's going to be about in this area, and I'm going to go ahead and slow it down just a little bit more because, like I said, I was watching this at like half speed, quarter speed. But it's crazy. Okay, it's coming up in 10 seconds here. Okay, you're going to see some flashes right here. It's going to pan back over right. It's coming right. There it is. Okay, right here. Let me slow it down one more speed. Okay, right in this area. Let me back it up one notch. Keep your eyes to the left right here. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3, 4, 5, 6. Do it again. Now those are flashes, in my opinion. Okay, here it comes right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you know what's interesting? Is that now I cannot confirm if that's flashes, detective flashes, for sure. But it sure the heck looks like it, in my opinion. And I'll kind of delve a little bit more into that just for a minute here. Okay, so I circled the flash. So there's one of the flashes. Notice here's the creek. I kind of marked the creek out. We know that they've said that this was bodies were no more than 50 feet from the creek, which that would be, about 50 feet. And this photo, so let me give you a little more context because I showed this video before, or this photo before. Let me give you a little more context. I don't think this is Ron Logan himself, but I think it's his friend. It could be Ron Logan, I'm not sure. But he goes out and he actually points to where they found the bodies. And as you can see, they have the crime scene. As you can see, this is about approximately 50 feet from the creek. And as you can see, this is kind of 50 feet from the creek. There's these flashes that I just so happened to catch because I was watching it. And just thought that was interesting. And it is right in the pretty much the area of where the crime scene was. So like I said, we put that to bed there. That is not any bodies. That is vehicles. So just one more time, that is a car. You're just looking at a red truck and other vehicles lined up. And it gives the impression that the woods are deeper. I think because the woods go deeper this way, and they're lined up right against the trees here, that it does look like, they're these it wouldn't be a car, because why would a car be, deep in the woods? But it's just because it's just from the view itself. So let's get into the pets, and then I had a few questions in my video yesterday that I want to address. Some people are asking me about the crime scene, and also they were asking me. Would they ask me? Oh, they're asking me about could have the bodies been under the bridge? So I'll answer that and a little bit more. So let's get into the pets real quick. I didn't get too many sent in lately, so I'm going to show a few old ones. So this is from Anna Marie. This is her dog Bo. That's a beautiful dog. I would love to take Bo home. This is Monkey from April. With his little bow tie on. I've showed him a couple times. This is one of my favorites because I love black cats. Spresalika. She got Tom when he was a baby, and now he's a little bigger. And then this is Anna Marie. She's got this is Bry. And then this is from Christy B. This is Chef. Oh my God, those eyes are adorable. Oh, I would take him home in a minute. This is from How's Your Mama? This is Ellie. They put their hair so it looks like she's got bangs. That's funny. And the cat's just chilling. He likes it. This was sent in to me. This is from Kayla. This is Doug. Just a happy boy. Looks like he's got his ball. We got Pink Floyd sending in Bernie. Looks like he loves frisbees. Is that a lab mix? It's can't tell exactly what kind of. Looks like a lab mix with something. And then we got Sandy. This is Penny. Oh my God, that's the cutest little wiener dog. Oh, that's a pretty boy. He looks like a penny. And then this is from Sharon. This is April. Just hanging out on the table, looks like. And that is it. Alright, I'm not going to do the halftime video today. I'm going to be editing now. I'm going to be retiring. I know I said I did this before, but I'm going to be retiring Gary Huge because apparently I offended some of his viewers yesterday when I showed the video. And I don't want to be causing drama. So I'll probably have to retire him for a while, but I don't know. I guess some people can't take a joke. I mean, if somebody made a video of me dancing with cats, I don't think it's that offensive. I mean, if you guys have been following me for a while, I honestly, when it comes to Gray Hughes, like, I would almost look to him as a mentor if he just wasn't the way he is as far as his personality, which is a shame because he could grow so fast. But sadly, he, it's his, he's a big boy. But like I said, he's done great work, and and we can't discredit that. And he donates, portions to good charities. So, the things he does is great. It's just his approach and his personality it's bad, and it just. It's sad. But like I said, I don't want to be offending people because, like I said, I got a really nasty comment yesterday saying that I was being so mean. It's so funny because they're saying I was being so mean to Gray, which, that's kind of his, title, so mean. So, I don't know. But anyway. Yeah, I've heard, he's different in person, which is weird. It's like, why can't you just be... why can't he be like that on his show? See, that's the thing, Karen Lee, and a lot of you guys are mentioning, is there's a gamer I watch, I used to watch when I had time, is Dr. Disrespect. He's a big time online gamer, and his persona is being kind of mean towards kind of everybody, but sometimes towards his viewers and stuff. But he's being funny, and it's just a persona. It's not really him. He just does that. He goes into character when he's doing his online gaming, and it's in good taste because it's funny for the most part. But, like I said, it's too bad he didn't have that, because for the most part it's funny. Yeah, sometimes he yells at his audience, but only a few times. But it's not like he degrades you or anything. But anyway, that's just my opinion on it. Like I said, I like to show love and not hate, and so, but anyway. Alright, so a few questions that I was asked is, let's see, which one should I do? Alright, let me play this clip. So I can't play the video because it's from Inside Edition. It's from Inside Edition. If I play the video, they're gonna quickly copyright me. So I'm just gonna play the audio, and it's just a little clip. So some people were wondering, well, could the crime scene have been under the bridge? And I think very unlikely. I can't say 100% no. But one of the things when they came to look for the girls, and you got to think as a parent, the last thing you know is that they were taking pictures on the bridge. And you know that this bridge is dangerous. So one of the things that they did is when they first got there, is they checked around the bridge and under the bridge, because they thought, they might have fallen through and got hurt. So that's one of the first places that was searched, was the bridge and under the bridge. So that's why I for me, in my opinion, I don't think the bodies in the crime scene happened under the bridge. There might have been an altercation, but that's the first place that they looked, because, as a parent, that there was a Snapchat of them on the bridge. This bridge has got all these gaps in it. So obviously you're going to be looking at the bridge, around the bridge, under the bridge, see if they fell through. And so that's why I can kind of say with, great certainty that I don't think that the crime scene happened, or the girls were, the murder happened under the bridge. So, let me play this little excerpt. So this is Libby's mom. And she went on Inside Edition, and because usually we hear from Libby's grandparents. Usually they're the ones that are out there and vocal and kind of the face for Libby. It's rare. I'm not saying it's not rare, but we don't see it as much from the mom. But she came on Inside Edition and was kind of saying that she's kind of unhappy of how long it's taken this case. And so this was about 3 years ago, I think. I think it had been after 2 years. Hey, Tom, running late. Hi, Mob Crew. Thanks, Tom, man, buddy. I appreciate it. I'll before I end it, I'll recap everything, Tom. Show you what I kind of discovered. So anyway, so this is just a quick audio, and it just talks about the search party and what happened over the night and stuff, just for those that might be unclear. Because some people think that the killer came back and dropped the bodies off in the middle of the night. But I don't think that could have been possible. Not saying it's not impossible, but I don't think it's likely.
Girls were reported missing and resumed the following morning.
To me, there were two babies out there in the woods. I don't care how cold it was. I don't care whose children they were. There should have been law enforcement out looking for them until they were found.
What could they have done differently?
I just think that they jumped the gun by calling off that search. The girls possibly could have been found that night and who knows what the outcome would have been.
Carrie also says tracker dogs were not brought in by police.
Maybe.
So the tracker dogs, from what I understand from one of the interviews that I was watching, is apparently the dogs that they use happened to be in another like county, and they had been used for another crime or something, whatever. They were being used, and so they were kind of getting late getting there. And then, unfortunately, they found the bodies the next day, and they were on their way there, but they called it off because they found the bodies. But now they kind of regret doing that. But the reason why they didn't get the dogs there immediately is apparently the ones that they used were being used. They were busy, from what I understand.
If there had been dogs there, they could have probably led them to the girls fairly quickly.
You don't necessarily think they made mistakes. You think they could have done more.
Absolutely.
Sheriff Tobe Lesenby tells me volunteers did search through the night that first day and says tracker dogs were on the way when the girls' bodies were found. Do you and the police...
So they searched till midnight, like the volunteers and civilians, but they didn't want the civilians getting hurt at the end of the day, because it was pitch, it's dark now. They didn't want them getting hurt, so they called off the civilians. But they were still actually, the volunteer firefighters and stuff were still there throughout the night, law enforcement, from what I understand. So that's why I don't think the bodies were taken and then placed back, dumped, because... there was people there throughout the night. Even though they sent the civilians home, we still had people there. So I kind of wanted to address that because I've heard some theories that they could have dropped the bodies off, after or in between the night. And I just don't think that'd be likely, especially if they, if there's cop cars around and stuff. I just don't think, even though this killer is brass and did this in the middle of the daylight, so anything's possible with this guy, but I think it's highly unlikely. So two more things I want to go over real quick, and I'll recap real quick everything that I did today, just in a quick little segment for those that are just tuning in. So this is something I played yesterday, but I kind of got distracted because there was stuff going on in the comments when I played this, and so I didn't get to address this. But but I want to play this one more time and just go to the one spot that's that I find is important, and it kind of bugs me. But so this is Robert Ives. He was the former prosecutor. He is the one that was known to say that there was multiple signatures and that there was tons of stuff at the scene, that they thought this was an open shut case just because of the amount of evidence. He even goes on in this interview to say if it was in the 1960s where they didn't have all this advanced equipment, they still would have probably thought it was an open shut case just with how much apparently evidence was at the scene. But he says something interesting about the progress when it comes to persons of interest and for the first 3 years. And I think, and the way he says it and he doesn't look away, is kind of eye-opening for me.
The sheriff's departments, the city police departments, they all sent detectives. And in those early days, there were plenty of leads, but there was no great lead. People have asked me sometimes, was there a point where y'all knew who did it, but you couldn't prove it? No. When I was involved, that point was never reached. There was never a time where we thought, this is the person, we just don't have enough to charge.
That scares me. Now, obviously, we know that they switched gears in 2019, which is really going on to the Tony Klein stuff in the whole catfishing gear. But let me play that one more time because I really, I think that's really eye-opening that they just didn't have anything as far as... and the way he says it, it's,
But you couldn't prove it? No. When I was involved, that point was never reached. There was never a time where we thought, this is the person, we just don't have enough to charge. But there was so much physical evidence at the crime, and the crime had been found so immediately after it had been committed, that it's the sort of thing that experienced law enforcement officers, experienced investigators all believe, well, this is going to be solved really quickly.
So anyway, so like I said, I played that yesterday, but I just wanted to readdress that because I really thought, man, that's tough because it seems like he's telling the truth, and I think this interview was done in 2020. It might have been 2019. I think it was 2020. So it had been like the 3 years. So he's basically saying for those 3 years that they just did not have anything as far as suspects. So, but now obviously we've got Tony Klein, and obviously if you guys follow me real close, I don't think the Kleins were directly involved. I don't think their body types fit the bridge guy. I do think there could be something with the catfishing for sure. So just for those that just came in, let me just quickly recap just for those, and then there's one more thing I'll touch on real quick here. So for those that are just wondering, so I found the original post. This is paperblog.com. It was posted December 16, 2017. They basically took a screenshot of this aerial footage here and right here. So they basically just took a screenshot of that, ran it through some filters, and all of a sudden you've got this body, and it does look like a body, and they say this is a red hood, this is a flash from a detective's camera. I did a lot of research, and I discovered that is not a shirt, that is not a detective's flash. What that really is it's a red car and a white car is what you're looking at. And as you go down the line, you can see there's more cars. The red car's kind of vague, but like I said, let's see, let me just, for those, basically what they're looking at is this red truck here and this white truck. And this red truck somehow has made up a little red blotch, and the camera view is looking this way. And so for those that just missed out, basically I'm just putting this to rest, that this is not a body. This is just some trees that just happen to form to look like a body. Really, this is just a truck, red truck, white truck. Johnny DeSaint, great work clearing up the BS. Respect to the girls and their families, for sure. Thank you. And yeah, one of the other reasons why I wanted to do this is because, and then, there was another thing, is that someone said that Gray Hughes had already debunked this, which, now I can't say is not true, but all the debunk videos I watched, he did not talk about this specific photo. I haven't watched all of his videos, but I watched all of his debunk videos that he has in a playlist. He mentioned something in that area, but he talks about some other things. Apparently people had seen some bodies in other areas, which are even far worse, and they're not bodies, and they're completely on the other side. And so, no, I don't think anybody's actually officially debunked this that I know of. I can't say that 100%. So, like I said, the purpose of doing this was to, hopefully maybe if this gets out to the family, they can rest assured that there are no photos of the girls out there that I have seen, that I know of. Yeah, and there is a good, what Mr. Underfoot, my hunch is a part of the motive was to film it. It could have been it. I just feel like after 5 years, if it was on the dark web somewhere, it would have leaked out. I mean, things leak. And, I don't know the dark web at all. But I would assume just the way things leak out, especially after 5 years, I think if there was a video out there, it would have eventually got to the family. or detectives. Great job, Chris. Keep up the great work, sir. Yes, thank you, Tom. So, yeah, I agree, Nick. Yeah, the dogs were extremely needed. Yeah, I think they could have probably maybe picked up on a scent, could have figured out exactly the way he left out, because I'm kind of, a lot of people are torn on which way he left. I think the cemetery is just as likely for him to leave than going all the way back. I'm trying to see where we're at here. I'll just kind of let this play while I'm looking at. Oops, let me turn the speed back to normal real quick, and I'll put a link to this video here. Oops. So they fly around the entire property. This is interesting though, for sure. It's the the two-time champion. Yeah, I love him. But yeah, like I said, I watched this video at quarter speed because I was really thinking, maybe there's something out there. Like I said, this is less than 24 hours since the girls were murdered. Could the killer be in this footage somewhere? Because we know that they like to return to the scene of the crime. It's less than 24 hours. Could he be with the volunteer search, or could he be somewhere hanging out back somewhere in here? So like I said, I was watching everything quarter speed the entire time, just seeing if I could see anything, vehicles, everything. And so yeah, that's a good rumor. Julia La Rosa, could the killer be part of the search? A lot of people think so. Would not surprise me with how brass this guy is. Yeah, so Joe B. Yeah, so apparently, like I said earlier, the dogs, from what I understand in one of the videos, interviews with Doug Carter, is at the time of that day, the 13th, apparently the dogs were being used somewhere else, and they were in like a different county, and so they were kind of late getting there, and then of course as they were coming on the next day, they found the bodies and then made the wrong choice to call the dogs off. True Crime Shannon says, I think it's very possible the killer was in the search at some point. Yeah, a lot of people think that. A lot of people. Weber home so close looking in this footage. Yeah, there's a lot of properties that are close by. Definitely something to look into. Nadia says it is not the clients, but they probably know who done it. It's possible. It's possible Keegan could be holding out. For sure. Ben Foxwell says, Ellie thought it was just a missing girls case that evening and messed up. Yep, that's true. They just thought that they could have been, they're teenagers, they're teenage girls. They could have, just done a little rebellious thing for a night. So they weren't too concerned. Marquez says, wonder what the signatures were. Was a familiar signature? Yes. I would love to know that too. I would love to know that. Because they say, like I said, Robert Ives says at least 3. For those that don't know what signatures are, that's something that typically serial killers go out of their way to add to something, like taking a trophy, placing things out of the ordinary at the scene of the crime to maybe throw off investigators, maybe the killing in a certain way. So it's usually something that's kind of going out of their way, that compared to just a regular murder, it would be considered signatures. Like I said, there's been a lot of theories about this whole doll thing, which I'm kind of on the fence with, because they always keep saying that there was tons of stuff at the scene. So it just makes me wonder, what the heck is that? Yeah. Man, like the movie Boondock, where they put the coins in the eyes of the people in the murdered. Yeah, that you could say that's a signature for sure. I would give my left arm to have all the unreleased case files. Yeah, posing the bodies. Yep, which has been rumored. Try not to talk too much about the bodies, just out of the respect for the family. But yeah, that has been definitely a big rumor. Chris, do you think the flashes could be from using luminol to find blood drops? Ooh. Gosh, yeah, that's could be. I'll have to look. I'll have to see how bright the flashes are. For sure. It's just interesting that this guy is, from what we know, unless he's connected to Evansdale, is this his first murder and he's not going to murder again? Or has he done this before and we just don't know? It's so tough to tell. The Evandale murders are interesting because of the dates, how they connect, the similarities between the two cases. There's a lot of similarities. Other than the bodies were taken and dumped months later. Luminol the night before would have been useful had the dogs been used and the bodies found, for sure. Do you think there is any truth about the murders happening for a gang initiation? I personally don't. I've always been on the theory that I think there's only one person, just because when you incorporate more than one person, that means double the chances of DNA being left behind, double the chances a friend or a family member will be told. It just doubles the chances, and there's not really many cases that go unsolved like this, even though this is kind of unique, where there's two people that got away with like such a big crime like this. Not saying that it doesn't happen, but like a crime that's so big when it comes to the media. But it is interesting because there was a lot of teenagers with some hoodies on that were seen walking through that area before the crime. So it's, oh man, there's just so many. Like I said, when you start going down the rabbit holes, there are many, and there's a lot of coincidences, for sure. True Crime says, I think the Anthony Shots account has something to do with it, but it's not the client's. Yeah, that's how I feel. I feel somebody could have hacked the Anthony Shots account or used a separate Anthony Shots account with a different app, and definitely that could have been a possibility. That's what I feel, Ben Foxwell, exactly. The more people involved, the more likely a leak will get out. Yep. Not saying it's not possible, but I just feel like after 5 years. Yeah, for sure. I agree. So many times we see the killer on the search team, so many things possible, for sure. So, I know, I can't wait either, Lady M. And thank you, Tom, and everything. So, all right. So the plans for future videos, we've got Skinwalker Ranch coming up. I think maybe next week, May 10th, my birthday. We're going to be doing Troy Driver's hearing. Skinwalker Ranch, I think this weekend. I think me and Tom will have part 3 to Brandon Lawson. We'll probably have that ready by this weekend. I might try to get a Paranormal Tuesday going again tomorrow. If not, the Skinwalker Ranch is kind of make up for all the paranormal I've been kind of missing out on lately. So yeah, Brandon Lawson, part 3. There's a few more things in Delphi, obviously. I'm going to be... For those that are newer to my channel, like I said, I try to explore different angles of this case. And I actually try to go out and do controlled tests. And that is trying to figure out what he was actually wearing that day. So I've dressed up in different outfits and tried to recreate different, wearing different hats. Just to kind of show you if you're newer to my channel. I'm trying to do all these different ideas to try to get an idea if it's a hoodie or a fanny pack or a deer kit. So I'm going to be doing some more controlled tests soon. I'm going to be doing one with the phone. Another one is I'm going to be doing one with the scarf because I kind of feel like it's a good possibility that he was wearing a scarf. That's the white thing that you were probably looking at. So I'm going to try to recreate that as well. Where is... oh, there it is. But just to kind of show you the work for those that are kind of newer to my channel. Like I said, I've been trying to recreate this image here. And I'm going to be doing some more work because, we all need to come together as content creators and not try to go after each other and work together. I've been working with Frank Meister and Marvelous Investigates. Fig Solves, he's been up and coming. So a lot of stuff that's going to be coming out soon. And then if you're members, I do kind of after dark series where sometimes after my lives I do a member for the video for the members only, sharing some thoughts that I might have missed that I wanted to go over during the live show. So before we end it, I will play the first part of the video, but I'm not going to show gray hues. But if you can, smash that like button. We'll do the dance, but I'm going to just cut it to where it's not with the gray hues part. But if you can, just smash that like button. And yeah, so for those that don't know, I'm in Utah. Skinwalker Ranch is literally just like about 2 hours away, 2-3 hours away. So, and I have a buddy that's gonna get me right next to the land. Okay. All right, like I said, we'll end it there. I know that I don't want to get the hate. Like I said, it wasn't bad, but I don't want to be offending people. But so if you can, hopefully this won't be the first contact video with aliens. Thanks, Steve. So thank you guys so much for the love. Like I said, yeah, that's a great song. And thank you, April, for the Vimeo. Everybody so much for taking the time to watch my show. Like I said, I think we've officially put this photo to bed. It is a vehicle, 2 vehicles that are parked near the cemetery. It is nothing else. It is nowhere near the crime scene. So I think we can officially say that's put to bed. So with that said, guys, thank you guys so much again for everything. Mods, thank you so much. You guys are amazing, and we'll be on tomorrow. Also, I'll be doing updates on the Madeleine McCain case. Apparently, they might be doing some charges for Chris B, I think is his name. They use Chris B. So maybe talking about that case, because that case has been kind of flying under the radar for a long time. So it'd be nice to see if justice is served in that case. So with that said, guys, thank you so much, everybody. We'll be donating all these donations real soon again. So thank you. Stay safe. I love you guys.